Welcome to another edition of Ice Cold Questions presented by Corona. Ethan Greenberg, Brant Boyer. Coach, you ready to go?
Absolutely.
This is your kind of beach, huh? Turf?
It is. It is. Spend a lot of time on this. Actually.
Yeah.
Too much time sometimes,
Okay. All right. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to let you pick the first question, then we'll alternate and read the question out loud, and then we'll talk about it.
You want me to read the question out loud?
Yeah. The first one.
What was your high school superlative?
Mm-hmm.
I went to a tiny little high school with 42 in my graduating
So I was going to
class.
ask about that. So you had 42 kids in your graduating
42
class.
in my graduating class in a little small farm town right outside of Park City, Utah. And I think there was 240 people, 240 kids in the whole high school, so 9 through 12.
How many people lived in the town?
There's a bunch of little small towns that converge into one high school.
Okay.
Yeah, right in the middle. So.
But we're still playing 11 on 11 in football?
Playing 11 on 11.
Okay.
Yeah, but very, very small high school, and it's it goes from 5A is the biggest high school in Utah, at least it was back then, and we were 1A, so we were one of the smallest ones out there.
So how do you like the city, considering where we are in Florham Park and being right next to New York City?
Like if I was going to go to the city?
Yeah, like do you enjoy that?
I'm more of an outdoors guy.
Yeah.
City's awesome. I think it's really cool to go down there once in a while. But as far as could I ever live down there? No. Just not my style. A lot of people is, and I totally see what they see. It is fun to go down there, but I'm more of a guy that wants to walk out on my deck and see trees, and lakes or mountains or something like that. It's 2.5 on the half.
You strike me as a Yellowstone fan potentially.
We actually have a place out by Yellowstone.
Really?
About 45 minutes. Yeah, we bought a lot a couple of years ago. So,
okay.
Yeah, looking forward to moving out there.
I think we have a question about that. We'll get into it.
Okay.
But for now, how did the Desert Swarm nickname start?
I don't know how that actually got started. We had a bunch of, guys that just played their butts off all the time. Bunch of too small, too slow, under-recruited guys that, that came together and just played hard, man. And that's one thing I'd say about all the great defense that I played on is every one of those guys. I don't think there was a really high, 5-star recruit in there. I think we had a bunch of 2- and 3-star recruits, if that, and a bunch of JUCO players and a bunch of, like myself and that didn't have any scholarships out of high school and things like that. And so, but it was a cool scenario where everybody just loved ball and were tough and liked to play with each other, and it was a special time.
For those who don't know, the Desert Swarm, Arizona's defense when Coach Boyer was there. What year was that?
That was 1992-93.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was Teddy Bruschi on that team?
Teddy Bruschi was on there. He's a heck of a player.
Yeah.
I think he had 19.5 sacks one year.
Oh, God.
Teddy had a heck of a year. We had the Outland Trophy winner, Rob Waldrop, the nose guard, and we had probably, I'd say at least 8 or 9 guys off of that defense playing the pros at some point.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. You can take the next question.
Okay. What is your favorite state to visit? I would say probably Montana, to be honest with you. I was up there fishing between Montana and Wyoming. I was up there out of the 30 days I was home last summer. I think I was floating down rivers in those 2 states, Montana or Wyoming, for 22 out of those 30 days that I was home fly fishing, yeah.
So going back to what you said before, you bought a place on Montana. That's like post-coaching career, that's where you see yourself.
Yeah, living on a lake up in Montana and hopefully fishing every day, and it gets cold outside of West Yellowstone. It's about 40 minutes from West Yellowstone and 40 minutes from Bozeman, on a cool fish town called Annis, Montana.
And how did you hear about that?
I'd been fishing up there for years, going up there, and my buddy lives there, and a really good friend of mine, and so we go up there every summer and fish all over Montana, fish all over Wyoming every year, and so that's my kind of spot.
So an ideal day for you in the off season is wake up, fish, then what?
It all depends. Just hang out and see the family and spend some time with the kids, and maybe take the kids fishing as well and stuff like that. But this summer they were in training and stuff like that for doing all these private football camps and stuff like that. So you know, it's my one time of the year where I get to go home and relax a little bit. And my wife always calls it my yoga, you know, that I get to go home and kind of decompress a little bit.
Oh, that's funny. Your yoga.
Yeah.
Are you a yoga guy?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Don't strike me as one.
No, I'm not.
Okay. So I think I know the answer to this, considering how much you've talked about fishing. But if you could only do one for the rest of your life, fishing or snowmobiling?
It's hands down fishing.
But how close is snowmobiling?
It's not, you know, it's pretty far behind. When I retired first from playing, I was going 4 or 5 days a week.
Snowmobiling.
Yeah.
Snowmobiling.
But, you know, now it's you know, you kind of, it's like either do you go in the summer or do you go in the winter when it's cold and stuff like that. I still enjoy going once in a while, but not like I used to. You know,
but is that your favorite thing to do maybe outside of fishing, or was?
It used to be, yeah. It's still pretty close. I still really enjoy that. You know, but fishing is hands down for me. Just being out in the mountains and you float, you know, 8 miles down a river and you see all the, you know, the sights and the animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you catch all the fish, and you know, I don't keep fish anyway, so but you know, it's a really good time for me. It relaxes me a ton.
Do you know the
Camp
biggest?
right next to the river and stuff like that, you know, so it's awesome.
Do you know the biggest fish you've caught?
We caught some striped bass right out down on the shore here, which were
Really?
huge. I think me and Coach Olbrich went out and took the kids, and you know, I think we caught 3 of the biggest fish at that time. That the boat that has been working in that area for like 30 years, we caught 3 of the biggest fish that ever landed on the boat.
No way.
It was huge stripers. It was awesome. Yeah, 54 pounds was the biggest one, I think.
That's
we
incredible.
caught a couple of 40-somethings, and yeah, it was fun. The kids had a great time.
Okay. All right. Next question's all you.
Go to a karaoke bar. What song are you singing?
Mm.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm not much of a karaoke guy.
That's why I asked the question.
I'm not. That's a good question.
Yoga and karaoke, the Brant Boyer routine.
Yeah, I'm not much of a, maybe tequila. Because you only have to sit there and say tequila, you know?
Yeah, yeah. After some tequila.
It'd have to be some country song.
Yeah.
You know, some George Strait tune or something like that.
Yeah,
I listen to a ton of country music.
I was gonna say, but the country music that comes out now, are you a fan of it, or you're like, you know what, I just stick with the old
more
school?
Like the old school, like some of the new stuff. You know, there's some artists that I really like, Larry Fleet and all those guys, Chris Stapleton, all that. That's my kind of stuff right there.
Yeah, I could see you maybe singing some Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had a karaoke bar in Montana.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Would have to have a few of those.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's why they're gone. All right, what is your biggest pet peeve unrelated to football? Could be anything.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I figured you'd have a good take on it. I don't know why I felt like that, but I felt like maybe you'd have a good take.
One of my biggest pet peeves is like, I don't even know, like if somebody jumping into somebody else's business.
Okay.
That's a good way to say it, I think.
Okay, but is that like even in conversation? Like if we're having a conversation and someone just comes
in out of nowhere and just has a conversation with you and just totally interrupts the conversation and stuff like that. You know, I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Okay, I like that answer.
Yeah.
You know, the beauty of the question is that you could have gone like anywhere.
Right.
It could be not using a turning signal. It could be something like that. I like that answer.
I think that gets on my nerves once in a while.
Yeah, I can see that. It gets on my nerves too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, there you have it. Ice Cold Questions presented by Corona. Coach, thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.